Hello students, welcome to this talk on solar power. We will be discussing about solar energy, how we convert the energy from the sun into electricity. So energy from the solar radiation is converted into electricity directly using photovoltaic cell. I think you have seen the solar photovoltaic cells like for traffic signals and all. Even now small mobile batteries, emergency lamps, you are getting solar, where the sun energy is directly converted into electricity, or else it can be converted indirectly using concentrating solar power systems. Okay, so normally this water heater what you are having at home, solar water heaters, they produce water at around the 60 to 70 degrees centigrade only. But now we want the sun energy to be converted into steam, so that I am able to rotate the turbine, steam turbine, and hence to convert this solar energy we need to concentrate the solar energy. And like you use for example you use lens, lens you might have used and to burn paper and all. That lens, like similarly we use some lenses here to concentrate the solar energy, so that we can convert the water into steam and run a Rankine cycle plant on the steam. See, what is the amount of sunlight we get in India especially. In India, we almost get sun for 300 days. Only some 2 months it is not available, but we are lucky, because in Europe and all sun is only visible for 100 days. But in India, it is visible for almost 300 days. And the amount of solar energy which you receive per unit area at the top level of the earth atmosphere, that is known as solar constant. Means what is the amount of energy of the sun which you are receiving at the earth atmosphere. Okay, that is around 1366 kilowatt per square meter. 1.3 kilowatt per square meter. Okay, so 1.3 kilowatt you can energy is available per square meter at the earth's atmosphere level. Okay, so the solar energy harvesting, as I was telling, we have used it in our homes. What for? For water heating. That is, we call it liquid flat plate collectors. Okay, then there is also a term called as solar pond. I think one solar pond was there in Bhuj, Gujarat, and one in our BUB college in Karnataka also, where the water is heated using solar energy. A pond is heated using solar energy, so that the hot water can be supplied for hostel students for bathing. That provision is there. And the third one is the solar photovoltaic cell. So in this diagram what you are seeing just now, which is available here, this is like a solar power plant. Now you can see the solar power plant. Sun energy is coming, so the sunrays, they are falling on the solar collector array. They are shown only 3 solar collector array here. So here what happens, the water is supplied to the solar collector array, and this water, it gets converted into hot fluid or even steam. Okay, if it is concentrating solar power, means this entire solar array heat is focused on some one place, so that like a lens, so that the water gets converted to steam and the temperature increases beyond 100 degrees centigrade. Okay, then the hot steam is passed through the turbine. You can see the turbine here, and from the turbine it goes to the condenser, where the steam is converted back to liquid, and that liquid is pumped. There a pump is missing. I think you have to add one pump between the condenser and the solar array. Okay, because the water has to be pumped to the solar array. So this is the solar power plant. See, we should know that the solar energy is renewable energy. It is pollution free energy and a clean energy. Okay, so there are no greenhouse gases produced. Okay, and you are aware that India, 80% of the oil what we use in petrol cars, bikes, trucks, and all is imported oil. So we are spending a lot of foreign currency onto that. Not only foreign currency, also the transportation is involved, and a lot of greenhouse gases are emitted when the fuels are burnt. So, and as I said, India, it is available for almost 300 days. So India is very fortunate for that matter. So nowadays the government of India is also encouraging, and so you will find a lot of solar power plants. Okay, and it can be used to heat water, power homes and buildings. Okay, and it is a safer source. The only disadvantage is it is not completely reliable, because as I said, only 300 days means 65 days it is not there. So those 2 months, 2.5 months, so you have to rely on conventional power only. And initial cost basically is slightly high, because these are new technologies, they are now picking up. So over a period of time, in another 1 or 2 decades, there it will be very competitive. Like today, if you see, solar photovoltaics are very competitive. Earlier the cost was very high, but today for the solar photovoltaic cell rates are very low, almost 30 to 40 rupees per watt. Okay, and the disadvantages are the efficiency of the plant is becomes low when due to clouds or due to rains. And it requires a lot of space. You know, the solar array and all. As I said, the solar energy which is falling is almost 1.3 kilowatt per meter square. When it comes down to earth, it will be somewhere around 0.5 to 0.6 kilowatt per meter square. This is what you are able to draw. So for that, 1 meter square of area is required for almost 0.5 to kilowatt of energy. And in the night it is not available. So it is only available for some 6 to 7 hours in a day. So, and if you want to really store, then you require a huge storage system like battery system and all. But battery is not a economical option and not affordable option also. Okay. And some heavy metals are used like lead and cadmium, which can be toxic and cause pollution in the systems. Okay, so this we have seen about solar thermal power plants. Okay, I think in next class we will discuss about the solar flat plate collector, which we are using in our homes. Thank you.